Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Krastorio. This is episode 12, I believe. Last time we got advanced tech cards up and running, which has allowed us to make some pretty significant progress, I feel, in this one. As always, if you want to do the old like, comment, subscribing thing, that would be great. Today we're going to do optimization tech cards at long last. Automate that. Haven't automated rocket launches yet this whole time, if you can believe it. And see what other goodies advanced tech cards gets us. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So here are the advanced tech cards being made. 100 tech cards per minute is the current goal, current target. That should allow us to put some pretty decent groundwork in for expanding into megabase territory. So with the advanced tech cards, the first thing I've lined up here are the anti-creep virus capsule and the anti-biter virus capsule, just so that we don't have to worry about combat or creep or anything like that going forward. These are kind of annoying to make, but not hugely annoying to make. They just need fluids that I don't... Anyway, we'll talk about that later. The first thing I want to do, though, is expand the base. As you can see, getting this far, we've used pretty much every grid section available to us here. There's a lot of prime real estate going on up here. This oil patch just about sits in a grid section, which has ended up being quite lucky. So we won't have to properly demolish it, we'll just move the output to a separate area. This iron ore patch, we'll just mine this one instead, you know. So let's get the base bots extremely busy doing all of that. And there they go. So you can't build on creep, which is kind of annoying. I can't be bothered to walk over there and dismantle it. Thankfully, we've got a lot of landfill in the backlog. Loads, in fact, from our dedicated landfill mining area. So that's been quite easy to just sort that out. Expand north slightly as well. Once this... Oh, this already is empty. Okay, well there we go. So this can go. This is waiting on full cargo now. So let's trick this into thinking that this isn't the station anymore. Just go to the other one, which is up here. Really need to make sure that I don't copy and paste the wrong station name, because that could end up in disaster. Almost had loads of stone going into the iron ore facility there. That would have been bad. It's upgraded to blue belts for most things now. Just not going to have red belts on me for any reason. Still don't think the blue belts are quite fast enough with our current mining productivity. Not that we've leveled up our mining productivity in some time. Oh, okay, no, it's okay. So we can... What will this be? This will be like 48. 46 miners to fill a belt currently of the electric mining drill Mark IIs. But as I say, we've got advanced tech cards up and running. That gives us a lot of goodies. Quick access to a lot of goodies. But the first goodie I want, the first thing on the shopping list, is Power Armor Mark III. So with a brief little shopping list, handcrafted some energy control units, just for now, just because you only need 25, and you can handcraft those. They need lithium sulfur batteries, electronic components, etc, etc. So here's what I've elected to use for my Power Armor Mark III. Finally done the portable fusion reactors with the DT fuel cells. This is technically the next tier up from nuclear power. Although I have to say, whenever I'm using playing Krastorio, I very rarely use it. I always find that nuclear power is enough to just jump over this. So you need a bit of heavy water, which is just putting water and squishing it down, I assume, into more dense water. Not a scientist. And some empty DT fuel cells, which are very easy to handcraft, 1 rare metal and 2 low density structures, and some of the tritium, and we've been stockpiling the tritium as that is a byproduct of nuclear fuel reprocessing. You have a 15% chance to get tritium whenever you process a used up uranium fuel cell. And as such, during this whole time, we have a decent stockpile here of 350 tritium, which we can use to power our power armor, even though, as you can see, these have a 10 gigajoule capacity, which is not as much as the uranium fuel cells, of course, for some reason. I think it's just because these are technically easier to make, and you get the, I mean, you get the fuel cell back in the same way you get the uranium fuel cell back. But anyway. Some Roboport Mark IIs for a grand total of 240 robots on us. Some big personal batteries. I didn't put personal batteries in the last iteration of my power armor, just because I didn't have the room. I was just letting the fuel go straight into charging the Roboports. But this time I've added some personal batteries, just because, you know, I didn't want more robots than this. I suppose I could make more legs. These are the Mark III exoskeletons. So I also went and just got some immersion plates and some AI cores. It would be prudent to bring immersion plates to the mall going forward, because the next thing on the list we want for sure are these final tier of assembly machines. And we have everything we need to make them in the mall already, except for... oh, this needs energy control units. Except for the immersion. I did bring a job lot of AI cores back a while ago. Yeah. So, you won't be able to see my Power Armor Mark III range while I'm in a robot network. And I've turned it off. So there we go. Let's turn it on. It's quite large. Stuff on the floor there. Must be where I was fighting biters. And the base continues to expand. So we can move quite quickly now. I'm not too fussed about military stuff in my power armor, because the one of the other things we're going to look at today are the virus capsules, which is just going to make combat a non-issue basically, even though it's been a non-issue this whole time. Okay. We've got our power armor sorted, we're in a good spot. Let's move on. A bit of light chemical warfare for you on your Sunday. In a biolab, you can put immersite powder, poison capsules, nitric acid and biomethanol together. Very slowly make anti-biter virus capsules. Contains a powerful virus that will cull a significant portion of the biter population, also damages biter DNA, regressing them into a less dangerous form. Just make a bit of biomethanol with some wood, some oxygen and some steam, so that's just basically free. And I've got all my barrels on me here. I just went around the base and filled up some barrels manually from the various production areas, because the other one is the creep one, the creep capsule. Anti-biter virus capsule and anti-creep virus capsule. Once you can make biolabs, you don't really need to worry about collecting the creep, because you can make creep in a biolab. So as long as you get enough creep to begin with, you can then use that. I mean, I've got a chest full of it here that I was laying with the petroleum, just stockpiling just in case. But yeah, going out and manually having to collect creep is a bit of a pain, especially because you can't build on top of it. And these take 1 minute, so that's why I've elected to just surround them with some beacons. just to speed this up. Even though, you know, you don't really need to worry about making these in vast quantities due to how powerful they are. So let's get that up and running and I'll show you what they do properly. Here they are. Abominations of science. Surely against some sort of law. They're kind of confusing to use. It's not immediately obvious what they will do and how they will work. This just says creates a powerful virus. But, you know, you still have to throw it, and it still creates a cloud. Area of effect size, damage 30, poison, etc. It's not immediately obvious whether you have to go and throw it at them, or exactly how it will work. But don't worry, I'm here to show you exactly how it will work. So I've got 7 of these on me. You can just throw them. You have to be careful because they do end up having quite a large area of effects that is damaging to everything. But their actual effect of culling biters extends to everywhere on the map that you have visible. So I think the best way to really show this off is to just bring up... Actually, let me put one on my hotbar. Will this work? And bring up the kills tracker here over the course of a minute. And then just throw one of these bad boys. Yikes. Oh, and there we go. Oh god, I'm gonna die. So this, yeah, over the course of several seconds, 10 seconds maybe, just really did a whole number on. So you can see as the radar refreshes the areas here. Oh my god, it's war crimes, basically. Oh, yikes. Oh, they may have been cleared from artillery already, I can't tell. And it says a percentage, does it not? A portion, which I guess is a fancy way of saying percentage. But it seems to just... doesn't seem to degrade much. I mean, you can see that the big biter one there, 2,000, 1,800. It seems to be that you just throw a few of these... I kind of thought maybe it would kill like 50% and then 50%, so you can never go down to true zero with this, but functionally you kind of just can. Let's just throw... Oh my god, look at the trees go down. Really good for clearing trees. Really good for clearing trees. Yeah, right. Not trees. Not trees. So as long as you just sort of keep some of these in your back pocket as you expand your base, I mean, pollution is kind of really a non-issue now. Pollution is never going to expand to a biter base because there are never going to be biter bases on the map. So here's just about where my radars can go. So not only has this killed a huge portion, it's put the evolution factor back down to 35%, which will make going out there and killing things a lot easier as well. The creep one is a little more intuitive. It will just delete the creep on the map that you have exposed in the same way, and in the same way you have to run away from it because it's quite deadly. There it goes. That was a big patch. The creep one is arguably even better because it will just get rid of the creep from underneath biter nests as well, so that will make going out and killing biter bases even easier because you won't have to worry about the slowdown from the creep. So yeah, it's over, folks. Combat is over. That's why I didn't bother upgrading any of my, you know, there's an extra tier of laser defenses. There is in fact another tier of shield generator beyond this. I only had one equipped just to, you know, save me from moments like that, or should the worst happen, having some extra health is always a good thing. So I obviously don't need to keep these speed beacons up here the whole time. It does take 10 minutes to make one capsule, but the value is way, way, way more than 10 minutes worth of production. Like, you just... It's done. It's over, folks, basically. It's solved. Combat is solved. Don't even need these. If anything, I should put efficiency modules in, but you know what, once these ingredients run out, I'm just going to demolish these anyway. This will make about 20, 30 of these. Yeah, make a decent number of these as well. And that will do us for a very, 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 very long time. Cool. Alright, what's next on the list? I can't remember. Let me skip forward in time so I can remember. Hello. I'm here at the oil processing facility. You may remember I said that I upgraded the oil processing facility, but I didn't upgrade the chemical labs to deal with the extra production, because I knew that advanced chemical labs were around the corner and that would solve all the problems. So here we are, having solved all of those problems with the advanced chemical labs. Look at these bad boys. Aren't they absolutely incredible? They have a base crafting speed of 8, I believe. 12! Oh no, that's because they're near some beacons. I'm pretty sure it's 8. It is. They're large, so they can be affected by a lot of beacons. They have 4 module slots. They are big boys. So these oil facilities... Let's do per minute, shall we? 19,000, basically 20,000 heavy oil is coming out of these. One advanced chemical labs, modestly beaconed, can hold 51,000 advanced oil per minute. So you can see here it's stuttering. It's stuttering because the oil output is full, because I'm not yet worked through the backlog of this light oil. And then a light oil one can do 38,000. So as you can see, it makes things a lot easier and simpler to deal with. The only problem is pipe throughput. So you can see that this one is having a problem outputting just because of the sheer volume of petroleum that's coming out of this pipe. We can fix this by... There is an extra tier of steel pipes in this mod. They're not especially brilliant. I think they only have about 50 extra throughput, but that does add up. It doesn't look like a lot on paper, but it does add up. They are expensive as well. But that's that problem solved. I did build a little immersite plate unloading station here for them all, and added the extra tier of machines. We won't be able to make many furnaces until we go. We'll need to go and get some energy control units. We can either set up energy control units in a station like this, and that's what this space was always designated for. I never mentioned it, but that's always what this was for. So then this will be, you know, other things that we don't make in the starter base that we do want to bring in energy control units. Lithium sulfur batteries, AI cores, things like that. But in the short term, it's probably fine to just walk around in my little 1-1 train and just bring some back, because I mean the furnaces, the furnaces I'm less concerned with. As I talked about last time, using productivity modules on the ores is not hugely relevant. there are a lot of ores on the map. Getting 40% extra ores is probably more suited for using actual mining productivity research than it is using expensive modules. But the labs and the advanced assembly machines, which have a base crafting speed of 5, I think I erroneously mentioned before that they have more module slots, and they don't. They still only have 4 module slots, but with a crafting speed of 5, you can do a lot more with them in a small amount of space. So let's use our newfound advanced assembly machines to do a small little energy control unit build, shall we? It's simple, honest work. They're large. 2 don't quite... A medium power pole range isn't quite enough to do 2, so the builds end up being a bit awkward, you know, like your standard 3x3 machines with your power poles on each side. You know, everybody loves this. It's great. Can't quite do that with these, so you have to use substations, and it's harder to make them look nice, I find. But of course, you can't argue with results. This will do 160 energy control units per minute, which according to my calculator will be enough to hit the 100 science per minute goal of everything. Even the upcoming Singularity tech cards. And this is also good because we can bring energy control units back to the base to help us make certain things. And we've also researched some of the basic matter processing things now. Matter plants, matter assemblers. So let me give you a small example of what that's all about. Krastorio has mechanics that let you turn most rare resources and some intermediate products, but intermediate products that kind of are technically raw resources in a way, into matter, using matter plants. And then matter acts like a fluid, which you can use and reassemble into other base resources. So plastic is not a raw resource. If it's a raw resource, you can turn it into that raw resource just on its own, right? If it's not quite a raw resource, but like a tier 1 intermediate, so plastic for example, that just takes copper and petroleum, you need a charged matter stabilizer. So anything that you can just use, anything you can turn matter into for free, is quite powerful, as you can imagine. And I always said that this is what the plan was for the uranium processing. So we can turn the stone runoff into matter, we can turn the iron or runoff into matter, and then we can turn that matter back into raw uranium to make sure that the only things we get out of the uranium processing now is uranium-235 and 238. So let's just quickly start this process back up and running. Should probably have some efficiency modules in these, because they use quite a lot of power, and you can't prod module them, of course. If you could prod module the matter things, that would be bizarre. Also, let's make sure that this is vaguely balanced. Vaguely. So yeah, I mean, it's useful, strong. Okay, now that this is actually running at its proper speed, you can see this, you know, that's why one of these is, even with that backlog, that's still kept up quite nicely. You can put speed modules in them, I guess, if you really want to. Oh, how did this happen? They were probably already in the splitter or something, weren't they? They were here, of course. They were here. So this is quite useful in any areas that have a byproduct that you just really don't want to deal with. There aren't very many cases of this, but this is certainly the most appropriate use case, in my opinion. What else can you turn into matter, just for the sake of argument? Biomass, coal, copper, crude oil, imersite powder. The most frustrating thing is you can't turn sand into matter. Like, that is extremely frustrating to me. If you could turn sand into matter, I think the game would probably be too easy. Being able to just turn this sand runoff here into matter that you could then turn back into powder or something, it would be very strong. It would be too good. I seem to vaguely remember at one point you could do matter and sand interactions and then they took it out because it was bonkers. I may be making that up though. Yes, anyway. So the matter plants are good and powerful. I kind of... There's two ways you can approach megabasing in Krastorio. You can do it the vanilla way, where you just move everything around as normal. And then in my other Krastorio 2 megabase video that I made several years ago, it was matter based. So all of my... These didn't output into an iron ore train, these actually outputted into matter plants, which then put matter as a fluid onto a train. That went to a matter processing facility to turn 1,000 matter into a matter cube, which was a physical item which you could then just put into a cargo wagon and put on belts and things. And then ship the cubes around and you turn the matter cubes back into matter, and then you turn that matter into the raw resource that you wanted. So it was less relevant to make sure you had the correct number of iron ore mines, the correct number of copper ore mines. You just mined stuff. And it wasn't any less of a logistical challenge, it's just a different logistical challenge. And I'm not entirely sure that the method I'm going to approach this megabase with, I'm not going to rule out matter processing outright. It may be valuable in some scenarios, especially if, you know, rare metals continue to be as rare as they are on this map. We may have to turn stone into rare metals or something. But we'll see what happens, basically. We'll see what happens. Okay. Alright, so we want to start launching rockets, and we need RCUs. We need rocket control units for that. So let's build some of those. Again, another very easy, simple build. Speed modules go into rocket control units, but you don't need as many. But with this extra advanced assembly machine speed, you can kind of make this a 1-to-1 ratio with some productivity modules and stuff, kind of, mostly. 20% more than you need here, but that's fine. These use a lot of power, and also beacons and modules use a lot of power. So in the last session, in this session, with everything extra that we've done, power is finally becoming a problem. And as I said, I was going to try to just bypass the DT deuterium fuel method, because we already have a decent nuclear power blueprint here. So I'm just going to take the lazy man's way out here and just double this up. It's also quite satisfying to see all the robots go across the water. We just researched the advanced... Oh no, we haven't. Superior robot battery. We will research that in a minute. But I just wanted to show this off, just because the robots going over the water with the ingredients I thought was just very satisfying to watch. They can go quite a long way, can't they, even with this basic battery? I think Krastorio does buff the robots considerably from vanilla. I'm not going through all the effort of designing a different power facility when we just have this already in our back pocket, especially with the water fill mod. The only issue is that we never ever bothered to put quartz on the bus, so I do need to go and pick up some quartz to make some more heat pipes. But this will give us, what does this give us? 1.5 gigawatts? 1.5 gigawatts. Which, you know, should be fine. Should be fine. Okay, because we already had rocket fuel, low density structures and stuff like that, we can do rocket launches quite easily now. So I think we should do that and answer the question of where the satellites are going to come from. You won't like the answer. Rockets. Simple. Satellites. Less simple. I've got everything I need to make satellites, except for solar panels and accumulators, which are still just being made here. Batteries. Do I even have batteries in this? I don't think I do I? Because you don't need regular batteries to go into lithium sulfur batteries. You just have... yeah, you just make this lithium sulfur batteries directly. And this has stopped working because... oh no. Oh no, what's happened? What has happened? Fluid ingredient shortage. Chlorine. Oh no, I didn't notice that. Anyway, let's not get distracted. I'll have to fix that later. That'll be the first thing I do in the next episode, is work out why lithium is broken. So, stay tuned for that. So seeing as satellites are very easily made here, then fine. I'll just ship them over with a logistics bot. We don't need to make optimization tech cards in such high quantities at the moment. Of course, we only want 100 science per minute, which is less than one rocket launch every 10 minutes due to the productivity bonuses and things that we've got going on. So I don't really have a problem at the moment bringing the satellites over with the logistics bots. Let's launch a rocket. Huzzah! A very simple mechanism here to stop rockets from being launched when there's no need, by just reading the belt contents and only allowing this inserted to work when there are no space research cards on the belt. So this will allow this all to be processed before another rocket launches, which should keep us honest at the 100 science per minute mark. Of course, the worry is that when you are unloading trains like this and you're unloading 4,000 low density structures at once, the rocket silo will just continue to pump out rockets, and your science per minute may be very high, higher than you want it to be for an amount of time, up until everything levels out. You know, you may launch 10 rockets very quickly, and that makes your 10,000 science, and then everything else bottlenecks because you can't deal with that 10,000 science. So we'll just do it like this. We'll just do it like this. And then it's just a case of bringing that into the labs, which I'll probably have to redesign. I moved over the space science that we'd made in the starter base just to help along some of these researches. But as I say, I didn't really pick out very many. Some of them are very expensive and not that relevant anymore. All these military ones, not really hugely relevant to us. So I picked out the ones that were definitely needed. And we're good. We got rocket launchers automated at long last. So the only science card we need to worry about now is singularity science, which needs AI cores which we already make, blank tech cards which we already make, and we just need to get these charged matter stabilizers up and running, and we actually have everything sorted. So hopefully next episode we can quote unquote win the game, and then we can bloody start megabasing for real. So that'll be exciting. I'm really curious as to why lithium stopped. This has been working so well for so long. I might just redesign it now that I've got advanced chemical labs. This is missing hydrogen chloride and this is missing chlorine. I thought all the ratios were fine. Really shouldn't be doing this right now. The ratios are exactly right, so I honestly can't tell you what's happened here. Oh well. Let me know in the comments if you know the answer. There we go, it's just engagement farming, that's what I'm doing here, engagement farming. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment, and if you want to see more Krastorio, be sure to subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much. I'm recording this before the UEFA European Championship Football Finals. Not like just before, but before they have happened. It's Friday for me, Sunday for you. But it will still be Sunday before the final. So, enjoy that. I know I certainly will. Don't know if England are going to be in it yet. Don't really care, to be honest with you. I just like watching the games. I like watching the big football games. So yeah, enjoy that. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.